In this now ever-changing digital world, the pervasive presence of technology often goes unnoticed, blending seamlessly into the fabric of our daily lives. From the tech used in a smart city to Meta's plans to restrict Canadian news to the life-saving potential of smartwatches. On this Tech Talk Tuesday morning, we have technologist Kevin Andrews on the line. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
So, let's start here. The buzzword making its way around the country is this idea of living in a smart city. Can you just talk a little bit more about what exactly a smart city is and maybe give us some examples?
Yeah, a smart city uses information and communication technology to really help improve city operation efficiency, share information with the public, and provide better quality of government services when citizens are involved. And you really don't have to look too far to see a lot of examples of this in progress. In the city here, there's been sensors installed on streetlights at locations to observe traffic patterns. And this sensor data includes a number of vehicles that pass by, lane usage, and average speed. This smart data can then be used to adjust the enforcement patterns and traffic calming measures. So certainly one good example. You go to Corner Brook. They were involved in a smart city project that focused on addressing unemployment using a smartphone app that act as a digital town square, bringing people and ideas and technology together. And then coming back here on this coast, just last month it was announced that a speed camera pilot program was launching in Paradise and Mount Pearl. And the ultimate goal of this smart city initiative is to help increase road safety by supplementing current enforcement efforts and enhance compliance to the rules of the road. Now, with these examples in mind, I think smart cities are not always about the bits and the bytes and the data. There are a lot of working parts. And take that new tire recycling plant in Conception Bay. It aims to process about 500,000 tires a year. This smart city initiative will reduce greenhouse gas emissions, provide materials for construction of lightweight fill and drainage and thermal insulation and backfill. And then I know you mentioned earlier this morning that the city is unveiling now a $20 million master plan for shared use path. So this is definitely a smart city initiative which will help promote physical activity. It'll improve safety, contribute to reducing vehicle emissions. So economic value here, helping with tourism and recreation. So certainly a lot to consider. And then one last example here, if you want to take this smart city technology to a whole new level, there are several cities over in the UK now looking into capturing the vibrations produced by a car driving over the road to generate electricity. They call it piezoelectric crystals, and that's the heart and soul of this technology, where they're embedded beneath a layer of asphalt. And as the car drives over the road, the wheels exert a force that causes these crystals to deform and generate electrical energy. So this energy can then be used to power streetlights or can be stored in batteries for later use. So certainly lots to pick from, and you don't have to look very far to find smart city examples.
And this next one, Kevin, is a big one impacting many Canadians in anticipation of the passage of Bill C-18, also known as the Online News Act. Meta, alongside Google, now preparing to limit news content availability on Facebook and Instagram in Canada. The company announced yesterday that it will begin testing changes to its platforms, which would restrict some users and publishers from viewing or sharing certain news content. So can you comment further on this news, Ben, and what it means for Canadians?
In a previous Tech Talk, we discussed in detail how Google has implemented restricting news to certain Canadians, but now other tech giants are certainly following suit. Legislation that Meta or Facebook points out fails to acknowledge the functioning of social media platforms, and I think this is where they're stepping in. And to ensure a seamless transition for this bill, Meta will undertake randomized product tests to construct effective product solutions. So during this test, lasting several weeks, a small percentage of Canadian users will be alerted if they attempt to share news content. These tests are poised to affect both Canadian and international news outlets that are present right now on Meta's platforms. As per current language of Bill C-18, news outlets are considered within this scope if they primarily report on, investigate, or explain current issues or events or public interest. So despite these limitations, news outlets will maintain access to their accounts and pages, allowing them to post news links and content. However, some of this content will not be accessible then to the Canadian audience. And while this product tests are temporary measures, Meta has made it clear to permanently cease the availability of news content in Canada following the approval of this Bill C-18. So I'd say stay tuned to this topic, to this bill, because this could have some severe ramifications to how Canadians get their news.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into this more in future Tech Talks. We're speaking with our local technologist, Kevin Andrews, on Tech Talk Tuesday. And finally, in today's fast-paced world, wearable tech has become increasingly popular. One device that's gained significant attention is the smartwatch. Beyond their convenience and actual stylish appeal, smartwatches have proven to be life-saving tools in some critical situations. So, Kevin, how do these tech gadgets end up becoming reliable companions that can really offer crucial assistance in times of need?
No question, smartwatches have proven to be valuable tools in potential life-threatening situations. They offer various features that can provide timely assistance and help save lives. When it comes to health monitoring and emergency alerts, smartwatches are equipped with sensors that can track vital signs such as your heart rate, blood oxygen levels, and even detect irregular heart rhythms. I believe the new Apple Watch now can even perform an EKG. By continuously monitoring these metrics, smartwatches can alert people to potential health issues. For example, if a smartwatch detects a sudden increase in heart rate or significant drop in blood oxygen levels, it can send an immediate notification to the user, prompting them to seek medical attention. I've heard of many instances of people avoiding a sudden heart attack because of their smartwatch. Another thing to consider, too, is these smartwatches have built-in accelerometers and gyroscopes that can detect sudden falls or impacts. So in the event of a fall, smartwatches can automatically detect the impact and prompt the user to confirm their well-being. If there's no response, the smartwatch can automatically initiate an emergency call to pre-designed contacts or emergency services, providing crucial information about the user's location. This feature is especially beneficial for elderly or individuals with medical conditions who are prone to falls. So again, I've heard firsthand of how this feature has certainly saved lives. Even though most of these smartwatches are expensive, costing hundreds of dollars, you got to keep in mind that sometimes you really can't put a price on saving a life.
Technologist Kevin Andrews, we thank you for joining us on another edition of Tech Talk Tuesdays.
Good to be here.